And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.
Welcome to this episode of Chattin with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about rat role models. And what does it take to be a rat role model? We're going to dive into it today. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Lots of great content on the way. If you guys haven't seen the videos that have been dropping, there's a lot more. There's not enough time in the day for all the content that I have. I have an exclusive. If you want to talk about ex-mafia, I have an exclusive interview with a Sicilian, we would call him a associate to the Bonanno crime family. Now, he's the real deal. He's not like these guys. He tells you exactly how it is. He doesn't try to be a tough guy. And I'm going to play a few clips of it today. But that one's dropping, I think, on the 2nd or the 3rd. But it's really good. He was close associate with Joe Messino, Sal Vitale. He was involved. Hey, Tom Pauly, how are you? Lindsay, thank you for joining me. Sean. Pink Panther, what's going on? Let's go doing God's work, Staxx. Thank you. We're going to have fun today. We're going to go over some of this content and have a few laughs. So let's get down to the first video.
You know, at 57 years old, I'm assuming you're living a fairly square life. You're not trying to go back to prison anymore. Do you?
That's wrong because he took a dip in the river not too long ago, right? He got slapped up at a strip club, I believe. Look at how this guy's sitting. Like, he wants to be in that life so bad he would do anything. Anything? Anything.
Miss your heyday?
Listen, there's things you're going to miss about it. I mean, particularly Gotti, people ask me about him. I said, we had some fun together too. Can't say we didn't, we laughed. But I don't live a particularly square life. I travel a lot, I have fun. I mean, you make your own fun. It doesn't have to be criminal to be fun. I got a lot of good friends out there that I stayed in touch with over the years, and I got a lot of new friends. I'm always jumping into something that's exciting, and there's new ventures, and you know, living life, man. I enjoy life. I love life, and I enjoy life. I live it to the fullest. I'm not one of those guys that sit at home all day. I'll never do that. That's not who I am. So I think, you know, it's the person. And if the person wants to have, you know, guys go out of the house and, you know, you have that saying all the time, the glass is half full. No, you know, it depends on how you look at things. It's not that sunny out. I mean, you make your own choices in your own life, and I just made a choice to live life now and not to live a bad life like I used to. I've decided to like myself instead of retributing after everybody that bothers me.
His partner doesn't seem to like himself too much because he's always getting busted for stupid shit. It's not like he's out there committing major crimes. He's doing petty things, and he's getting arrested. Like, he's probably going to end up in prison down there in Florida, you know? Eugene, the biggest gangster out there. He's getting mentored by a complete fool. Anyone that gets mentorship from John A. Light. I can't. Oh my God. Imagine getting mentored from John A. Light. Who's mentoring you? John A. Light. Look at this guy.
So I choose to enjoy this part of my life and to make it award, you know, feel like I have some awards to it. And rewarding life is helping others, really. So I think.
So we're going to see the difference between Eugene, right? Lip smacking Barillo, and back then versus now. Huge difference. Huge difference. He must have broken out of his shell.
I get a lot out of that. I like it.
Well, you brought someone today that you want us to speak to as well?
Yeah.
Brought your girlfriend today you wanted us to speak to as well? Yeah.
This is a guy that was, again, Fat Andy Ruggiano and Alvin and Anthony's family member. I know him when he was born. I haven't seen him for years. And
liar. Total lies.
He's a street kid. He kind of jumped into what I did, and he started staying with the Banana guys, and he knows a lot of the mob guys in modern day.
How come the guy I just interviewed never heard of none of these people? None of them. Never heard of Dominic Sicali. Never heard of none of them. I asked him too.
He just came home, and he's a guy that I'm talking about a second chance with, and kids like him. He's in his early 30s, and he knows the mob life, and he was a tough kid. And he's seen firsthand that the guys he was staying with weren't violent. He was, and what it gets you. So I did bring him, and I know his family forever. So he comes from a heritage of gangster family from generations.
Okay, John, you actually brought someone with you today.
Look at his eyes.
We have Gene Barillo sitting down next to you, who was born into the Gambino crime family, but actually was affiliated with the Bonanno crime family.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't born into any crime family. They didn't want this guy. He was not born into the life. Total lies. Tough guys don't act that like they're tough. 100%. They don't go around acting like they're tough. Tom, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. It's hard to see who's real and who's fake with all these mobster YouTube channels. Listen, 95% of them are fake. Steve, thank you. I appreciate it. How's Anthony Ramundi doing? He's all right. I spoke to him about a week ago. He's doing good. He had some health issues, but he's doing good. He's got a big announcement to make. I'm going to have him on. We're going to have a conversation. Gene Barillo was Vinny Acero's coffee boy. Ronnie G's crash dummy. 100%. 100%. Let's look at the difference between him then and him now.
And to make a long story short, he essentially had a similar job as you as the enforcer of the Bonanno crime family.
Correct. When I left the
Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes.
Guys that, get reputations around the neighborhoods being tough guys, wild guys, gangsters. He kind of stepped into the shoes of where I was when I left off. And
there's like nothing there. So he stepped into the shoes where A-Light left off. But Gene never killed nobody. He goes on these podcasts saying that he's a hitman and he's this and that. One of his first interviews ever, he said he shot 3 people. That's it. 3 people. Now he shot dozens. Get the fuck out of here. Liar. Bunch of lies.
Just came out of jail and trying to change his life also.
Yep.
Okay, now, Gene, you just did 5.5 years.
Right.
Okay, now read off the laundry list of charges that you ultimately pled out to.
Well, I mean, I had a state conspiracy at first, a Florida conspiracy on top of that, and then my federal charges was conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, shooting.
I had state conspiracy charges.
Assault, home invasion, well, actually called Hobbs Act robbery, arson, loan sharking, and illegal gambling.
Oh, no murder there, killer? All right, so that's him there, right? Check this out.
I basically was born and raised in Brooklyn and Queens. Born in Canarsie, Brooklyn. And then...
He still has that twang. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, Queens.
5 or 6 years old, I moved over to Howard Beach, Queens, which is a known mafia stronghold, as you want to say. I grew up in the...
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
And, I knew from young I was a bad kid. I was always in trouble a lot. I mean, literally from 3rd grade on. I can even say before that, you know, constantly fighting with kids, stabbing with pencils, hitting them with
He should have been thrown in the dumpster when he was born.
things, you know, getting kicked out of schools. School just wasn't for me, you know, and I always knew I'd be in the street, but I never knew.
Flappy lips. Hey, Jennifer, thanks for joining us.
That I'd actually be in the mafia or involved in it. I always knew I'd be a street guy.
He never thought he would be in the mafia or involved in it. Yeah, this is his soft white underbelly interview. Oh, man.
Guy. And eventually what ends up happening is that by the age of, I want to say, 15 years old, I started getting locked up for assault.
I don't want to talk in my hallway, just leave.
All right.
You can talk to them.
Talk to him about what?
Get out of my hallway.
Talk about what? Dirty whore. That's what you are. Look, tell everybody how you fucked 100 guys. Tell everybody that on YouTube.
I did this to the door. I did this to the door. I did this to the door. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door.
There's a gangster.
But I was using, where I was different from my friends was they were using their hands, I was using weapons. And that was the problem. And
But he couldn't aim straight, so he never killed anybody.
I constantly was using knives and bats and guns and just things like that. And 15, 16 years old, I want to say I had about 4 or 5 assault cases already. And then, you know, obviously, you know, I'm getting, not away with it, but community service. Not seriously, so I'm not really feeling the consequence. By 18 years old, I catch a kilo cocaine case.
Did you see his fashionable luggage there in that one?
I don't want to talk in my hallway, just leave.
Top class luggage right there.
I don't want to talk in my hallway, just leave.
All right.
You can talk to them.
Talk to him about what?
Get out of my hallway.
Talk about what? Amelia, let me go tell you what you're doing. Hold on. You want to play games?
I believe that's ratting, right? He's ratting again here.
Let me go tell you what you're doing. Hold on. You want to play games? You have to get my boxes and leave or not? Can I get my boxes and leave? Okay, let me go tell them. Amelia, let me go tell you what you're doing. Hold on. You want to play games?
My grandfather, which is my cousin Anthony's godfather, Ruggiano.
So listen, that does not make him related. It's this guy's godfather, so that makes them cousins. These guys are out of their mind. They want to go around using each other's names, trying to boost their little egos that they don't have. Everett, how are you? Vegas Pete, what's going on? Trash bags, luggage.
Junior, they call him, my grandpa. And we did a direct sale to an undercover. I was in the car, and long story short, basically, my grandfather takes the weight and gets most of the time. I ended up doing 19 months. And the mob guys at the time, I was kind of around them. They were upset about the drug case. So my grandpa, who was not in that life, he was around them, but he was already vanished a long time ago from my Uncle Andy because of something that had happened, and his sister didn't want him, who was my Uncle Andy's wife, Jenny.
Liar.
Ruggiano, which is Anthony's mother, didn't want her brother involved, so got my grandpa vanished. So he didn't have to follow the rules, but I was getting involved, so which means no drugs.
Okay, so listen, if he was getting involved, which is a total lie, he was not involved with the mob. He was never going to be in the mob. He wasn't proposed. He was never that guy. He wants to be. He wanted to be. So that's what you would call a wannabe mob guy. So he's involved with drugs right off the rip. He's robbing people associated with families. That's a no-no. Like, he did everything wrong, and he tries to claim that he was involved, which is a total lie. Not true. So let's get back to it.
They were calling on the fence, what were you doing with drugs, the whole situation. My grandpa kind of got me out of that. And I did 19 months, and I come home, and now I'm a full-blown mob guy. I'm around people.
I'm a full-blown mob guy.
Myself for being a violent kid.
I come home, And I'm a full-blown mob guy. How does that work? You come home, you're a full-blown mob guy? With no, you didn't have to ask nobody, you weren't proposed, nothing, right? You're just full-blown mob guy. Wow.
What kind of got me out of that. And I did 19 months and I come home and now I'm a full-blown mob guy. I'm around people. And I already made a name for myself for being a violent kid and being capable. And originally I was gonna go with my people, which was the Gambino family. I was
That's a lie. He wasn't going with anyone. They didn't want him.
Born into the Gambino family, basically. My mother's godfather is Fat Andy Ruggiano, one of the most respected captains.
His mother's godfather. So how does that make them related? It doesn't. He's not related to them. They're not related. So all this shit about he's my cousin, all this bullshit, it's all a lie. It's his mother's godfather. That doesn't make them related at all. Not even third cousins. Yeah, I'm related to John Gotti. He's my third cousin. Yeah. Oh, man. It's is the mafia equivalent to stolen valor? Because that's what he's doing, stolen mafia valor.
Notorious murderer for the Gambino family, goes back to Albert Anastasia.
Yeah, which has nothing to do with you. They would definitely not have anything to do with a person like this.
Cousin Johnny Boy, who was my on my dad's side, was a known hitter for the Gambinos as well. He was killed at the age of 22 years old.
Sure.
By Vito Guzzo. He was shot.
You're so reputable with everything you say. You're a very trustworthy guy.
Multiple times. They sent him to kill Vito Guzzo. They tried to kill Vito. He survived. They came back, pulled my cousin over in a district attorney van with a light, and shot him dozens of times and killed him. So that was, my other side of my family. So I was all Gambino and all their friends. I was gonna go with them, and I was supposed to be in a crew with a guy named Al Trucchio. Al Trucchio was a captain in the Gambinos. His father was Ronnie One-Arm, Ronald Trucchio. They ran all Queens. Ozone.
They didn't want him, so they took Hootie instead.
Park. And I was supposed to originally go with them. But my best friend growing up was a kid named Bobby Gialonzo. Bobby Gialonzo's uncle was Vinny Asaro, who was a Bonanno Mafia icon. He was the Latanza Heist. He was the one.
Right, go back to jail already. 100%. It won't be long. Don't worry.
The Goodfellas movie where he committed the heist, with Henry Hill and Jimmy Burr.
Okay, that's got nothing to do with you. Why do you always bring that up? Like, him being involved with any of that has nothing to do with you. He would not talk to you about shit like that. I don't know why you bring it up in every interview. Oh, yeah, he was involved with the Goodfellas heist. Yeah, they made the movie Goodfellas after him. Has nothing to do with you. None of that. So I don't know why you speak on it every time you do an interview. Every single time. Oh, yeah, he was involved with the heist. It's got nothing to do with you. The crimes that you are accused of doing, we're going to show you this and this. That's the crimes you do. And this. Wearing that fucking vest should have been a crime. You should have been put in prison for wearing that.
And all of them, and his other uncle was Ronnie Gialonzo. So they were Bonanno crime family, and they shared. So it was Ozone Park, Howard Beach, Gambino, Bonanno. They shared territories. So I was on the fence. I was gonna go Gambino, and what ends up happening is that I get into a beef with a kid named Phil Galena. Phil Galena's dad was part of the Pizza Connection. Gambino made guy. He had got deported to Italy, and we had a little beef with him. And me and my friend Chris Cagnata ran into him at a place called Ragtime, beat him up, cracked a bottle over his head. We scarred his head really bad. And then what ends up happening is that, I think it's 3 weeks later, we're at a nightclub. And he walks in, the kid, Phil Galena. Now, we have no idea. We're like, this kid's a punk, he ain't gonna do nothing. He's with two guys, and I'll never forget the guys to the day I'm dead. And we don't know he's IDing us. he put $10,000 on his head to kill us. We have no idea. So he's in the nightclub with us, just with like, God, this kid's a clown. End of the night, we leave, we go into my friend's Audi A8. We're stuffed in there because my other friend, Frankie Rock, who passed away, good friend of
Let me guess. This is the one. My friend got shot through the neck. Rah. Thank you for joining me. What's up? Mickey Griggs, the creator of MobTube. What's up, man? Wyatt, how are you? Patrick, Steve, Grudge Truck, how are you? Thank you guys all for joining me. I appreciate you. No.
mine. He had to go home early, so we came there with him. So it's me, Joe DeGangi, Berger, Danny Crocker, and Billy Dublin, all tough guys, and me in the car. We're squished in.
And are you a tough guy too?
We're on the Jackie Robinson. All of a sudden, a two-door CLK drives by, fires 8 shots into the car, shoots my friend through the throat, and shoots my other friend in the back. I'm the target, Chris is the target, they don't hit us, okay? My friend was pronounced dead twice in the operating table.
Oh, he was pronounced dead, right? But he made it, right? When they pronounce you dead, you're dead. They don't unpronounce you dead. We're going to call it, he's dead. Oh, wait, he's making it. He's coming back. I don't know, Gina, because he gets people views. That's why. But he is a complete and utter full of shit. He's a complete liar. I don't know. I mean, he killed 3 people in prison, and then he lied about it. It's just weird things.
How he survived, I don't know. He did, but he was shot right through the throat. My other friend was hit in the back, and we knew where it came from. You know, just a lot of violence, basically. That was my department.
Okay, how many people did you shoot?
About 3.
3, right? He shot 3 people. 3. So watch on his soft white underbelly. He shot dozens. It's crazy they let these cooperators even do this type of shit and come on the internet and lie like this. They should all be put in prison again.
Immediately, I guess Phil didn't realize he paid Albanians to kill us, and they just shot. They didn't do it the right way. They just fired into a car, and whoever they shot, they shot. So he takes off to Italy, not realizing that he didn't get the targets. Now we're going crazy.
Wait, I believe you're the one that never killed anybody, so you never got your targets either, right, Eugene? I'm just curious. And listen, you're more than welcome to come on here and we can have a debate about this stuff, because you are a liar. You never killed anyone. All your targets got away. I thought they murder you if you fuck up the hit, Eugene. Oh wait, yeah, that's right, because you weren't in the mafia.
In the hospital, bugging out. So I go to the people I want to be around, which is Al Trucchio and them, about 2 weeks later, and I said, I'm killing this kid. I said, we know it's him. He's in Italy. When he comes back, we're killing him. We already got.
Ronnie G was his alleged connection to the mafia, and Vincent Acero. He was out stealing fucking ladders for Vinny Acero, and he thinks he's a mobster now. He thinks he's a captain because he was out collecting money for fucking Ronnie G. And then put him in prison. Now he's on here bragging about how he's in the mob. Never. He was never in the mob.
Got the stolen cars, guns, he's dead. Al Trucchio goes, you ain't killing him. We don't do that over here. We don't do gun things. I'm like, all right, he's gonna take my back on his nose. Dad's a maid guy at the Gambinos. You just can't do nothing to him. Okay. I went to Ronnie G and them. I'm just trying to explain how I went over there. I went to Ronnie G Alonzo and them. Now, at the time, my cousin Anthony had just came home. So he's...
It's his cousin through his godfather, his godmother or some shit. His grandfather's mother was his god sister, and he thinks they're cousins now because he has a godfather. The fuck out of here.
On parole. I had seen him, you know, whatever. Actually took him to eat because when I went away, I was a kid. Now I'm coming home and I'm a gangster, and he's looking at me like, fucking, when I left you, 12 years old. But so now he's back in the street, but he's on federal probation. So what ends up happening is I go to Ronnie and them, And I said, listen, these guys ain't taking my back. I'm on the fence. Your nephew's my best friend. Let me get this guy. Have my back. He goes, do whatever you want. He goes, you got the green light. He goes, you're going to come with us. Get him. We don't care how you got to get him. That's all I needed to hear. You know, so we loaded up. We sat on this kid every day. I want to stay for 3 weeks. We couldn't get him. Finally, I said, you know what? I'm going to lure him back I'm going to lure him back.
He's going to lure him back, right? To the neighborhood. So he wants to kill this guy. He asked for permission, which he's not a member of the mafia, so he didn't have to ask shit. Now, his potential court cases with Angel seem to get him more views. Probably. I mean, the outrageous things that he says, I mean, obviously people are going to watch his dumbass. So, listen how the guy, he never killed anyone. Keep listening how the guy got away and he never killed them. But he wanted to.
So what are you going to do? I says, watch this. I take a Tech 9, 28 bullets. I load it, cock it up. I go right from his house. I shoot the whole house up.
I thought he just said the other guy just sprayed the car all up. He didn't care who he shot. So what did he just do? He sprayed the house all up, right?
Light the whole house up. I come back 2 weeks later, I do it again. Come back 2 weeks later, set all his cars on fire. This guy won't come back. So now this is on, obviously, federal paperwork. You know, this is charges and crimes that really occurred.
Dumb shit. Anyone can go and shoot a house up or light a car on fire. Anyone. You weren't in the mafia. Lewis, how are you? Thank you for joining us. His connection was with Al Capone.
And finally, this is even a better one. His brother was in a pickup truck, a Ford 150 pickup truck. We're sitting, and we're trying to get now anything. And, you know, we're just completely out of our minds at the time, me and my friends. And I don't know if anyone knows what a pineapple is. It's a half a stick of dynamite. It's not an M80 Blockbuster, it's the pineapple. It's the bigger one. The brother's sitting in the driver's seat. We pull out, boop, throw it right in the pickup truck. Boom! The whole windows blow out, everything take off. Finally, they're trying to wave the red flag. The only thing that I could say why we never got to kill Phil Galena is because in that mist of time.
How come you never got to kill anyone, Eugene? I'm just curious. Why did you not get to kill anybody?
A kid named Chris Cagnata, who was the toughest kid in the area. Chris Cagnata was known as Crazy Chris. He's dead now. He was the most notorious, toughest kid. He was one of my good friends at the time. He had robbed Ronnie Gialonzo's main earner, a kid named Nicholas Festa, Pudgy. Tied him up in his house, robbed him for $300,000, tied his wife up. It was bad. So the reason why we focused off of Phil Galena was because of that. Now, Ronnie put all our focus onto Chris Cagnata. So that's what saved Phil Galena. I always say it to this day because I was never going to stop till I got him. He was hiding. He wouldn't come out. Even after we shot his house up, blew up his cars, he was hiding. They eventually moved out the neighborhood and left because of so much problems that, you know, he was having over it. So our focus ended up going to Chris Cagnata. Now, this is where I really started making a name for myself with them because this is where I got my first order to shoot somebody, basically for them. So how it happened was...
All right, now listen to how he failed at shooting somebody. So now, you heard in that other interview, he said he shot 3 people, right? Now, are you guys keeping track? Because I got the interview right here where he says he only shot 3 people in his whole life.
Ronnie Gialonzo, we had found out it was Chris Cagnata that did the robbery, however he got his intel. And Chris was one of my good friends at the time. So this is where you become a snake. And this is where you become one of them.
You've always been a snake, Barillo. No, he's not. He's a trash bag. Jay.
Who do you choose? Your friend or the life? I said, I choose the life. He goes, okay. When you meet up with him, pop him. I said, all right. How it occurs. Now, I'm trying to meet up with him. He's very standoffish. What ends up happening is that I'm in Lindenwood. I never forget this day till I'm dead because it's April 2000. 2006, first time I ever shot somebody, and actually shot someone, you know what I mean? Broad daylight. And what ends up happening is I'm in Lindenwood, I come out my house, I have to meet a kid named Vinny Mineo. Vinny Mineo serving 20 years right now for murder. He owes me loan shark money. So I'm meeting up with Vinny Mineo, right on Lindenwood, four-way stop sign. What ends up happening, all of a sudden I see a green Acura TL. I know it's his girlfriend's car. She has it, brand new green Acura TL two-door. I look, now I have the gun on my waist, not cocked. So I know when he sees me, he pulls up, I look at him, he's like, what's up? I says, oh.
Let's hear how he never killed anybody. His lips had Botox injections. I think so. Patrick says, Jay Flex, have you bumped your head?
What are you doing? So when he hops out the car, as soon as I know he closes the door and he comes around, I pull out at a 3D Beretta, I cock it, his face just, I chased him around the car. He's, you know, doing the zigzagging. He shoots out, boom, boom, boom. I put 4 shots at him. I shoot him in his arm. His girlfriend hits me with the car. Cracks me with the car, puts me in the air, boom. This is broad daylight, by the way.
Costanza, how are you? Thanks for joining me, man. Go check out Jay Costanza's show. He's got a great show about Chicago gangsters.
People are outside everywhere. Good thing I'm close to my house. I pick up my pistol. I'm all fucked up. I got scrapes all over me. I run back to my fucking house. Now, my dad's with me at the time. He made things so much worse because when I get in the house, I'm like, Dad, which my dad was a street guy. We'll get into that. He did a lot of time. He was an armed robber. He passed away now. I said, Dad, I just shot somebody. Go see what happened. He goes over there. He goes, you killed him. There's yellow tape everywhere. I says, what are you talking about? He's dead? He goes, I don't know. There's yellow tape. So I'm thinking I killed this guy in broad daylight with all these witnesses.
Definitely Costanza.
Meanwhile, I didn't. You know, they have to yellow tape it off regardless when there's a shooting. That's just the law. So he comes.
It's just the law that they tape it off when there's a shooting. It's just a law. How do you know, because you're a cop, right? Because you switch sides and now that you work for the government. Is that how you know it's a law?
Back like, you killed him. There's yellow tape everywhere. I'm having a heart attack now. And my heel bone was all fucked up. I couldn't walk.
So that's the first guy he shot, right? First guy. We're going to keep track of this, right? That's the first guy. There's dozens more.
And I was all over the neighborhood, and everybody knew that Gene had got Chris Cagnata, who was the toughest kid in the neighborhood. And this ended up becoming a war. A crazy war that, you know, the agents titled it Summer of 06. And after we got Chris Cagnata, a
war that no one cares about.
I told Ronnie before this kid's not going to take a leg shot or arm shot and just be good with it. He's not going to stop. This kid is a machine. He's a lunatic. I says, he don't care about nobody, gangsters, nothing. This is just who he is. So it settles down. You know, we got Chris. Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy. The guy just got shot. Everyone's happy.
I want to say about 3 weeks to a month later, I'm sitting in my house just like this, sitting down. I'm on the 3rd floor in an apartment. I got my girlfriend. At the time, my name is Maria Ferrone. She's laying on the bed, 2 in the morning. All of a sudden, I hear da-da-da. He starts spraying my whole house up with a machine gun right through my windows. I just see bullets. I jump right to the ground. I start dragging her off the bed.
Oh, you're a hero, Gene. Gene, you're a hero. You dragged her off the bed? Was it by her hair? He dragged her off the bed. He saved her life. Eugene's a hero. He got arrested for it.
Bullets are just coming through. He put a whole MAC-10 machine gun through my 3rd floor and through my air conditioner because he knew where I slept. And basically when the cops were called, obviously everyone called the police, they did the strings, you know, to come through the house. He says, well, that one would have killed you through the air conditioner you're laying down.
Oh, so you were talking to the police then, huh, Eugene? That's what he's saying right here, is that they were investigating the shooting and he talked to the police. He just said, the cop said, that one would have killed you. They put strings. It's not a murder. They didn't give a fuck.
Police, they did the strings, you know, to come through the house. He says, well, that one would have killed you through the air conditioner you're laying down. That one would have killed you. He goes, you got lucky. And then they came in there flipping out. Who did this? Mind you, I got guns all over the house. So I'm
Yeah, sure you did. Sure you had guns all over the house and they didn't search your house, right? Sure, Eugene.
hiding them. I'm more worried about getting caught with guns in the house, you know what I mean? So I'm hiding guns now. After that, he shoots my house up, and
What about your button, Eugene? Did you hide your button?
now I'm already a full-blown on record with Ronnie G. Alonzo with our crew, and
On record. Was that before or after you talked to the police?
now this becomes a Summer of '06 war, where we could get into this, and what ends up happening is that Ronnie G says, basically, we got to retaliate now. He did that to your house, go. Ronnie puts the word out, anybody that hangs out with Chris Cagnata is our enemy. So it means you're friends with him, you're near him, we're getting you too. When I tell you we must have hurt so many people around this guy, that anyone would talk to him, beating him with fish beaters, billy clubs, we ended up blowing up his girlfriend's car. The one that hit me, Gina Palmer, set her car on fire in her driveway, beating up all his friends. Finally, Chris Cagnata had it. He calls up Ronnie G. Alonzo. He goes, I know where your kids go to school. I'm going to kill them when they come out of school.
No, that's not a good thing to do.
This is a captain. His uncle.
Listen, let me make something clear. I'm not saying that this guy is not capable. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he never committed violence. I'm just saying he is a storyteller.
The structure. His other cousins, Jerry Asaro, captain.
Oh, he's telling you the structure of something that you were never a part of.
His other cousins, Jackie, captain. Like, now you're asking to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally. So, right then and that day, he orders his murder that night. And,
he orders his murder from someone that's not capable of killing someone.
he wanted his nephew to do it because they were trying to make Bobby young. So Bobby G. Alonzo was given the murder, and of course I was going to be there with him. And what ends up happening is his own uncle, Chris Cagnata, a guy named Joey Cavalcanti, sets him up. His own uncle. His own uncle tells us where he's hiding. That's how sick these people are. His own uncle sets him up. He's hiding in the back of Lindenwood. He's moving around in a black Ram 1500 truck. And long story short, Ronnie G. Alonzo assigns me, Bobby, and Ricky Kessler in the stolen Grand Prix
to be the hit team. You were playing mobster because you weren't one.
And then Mike Padavona and Ronnie are going to be 2 blocks down. And after we do it, we're going to bring the guns to them, and they're going to get rid of the guns. So we're sitting on them. Finally, hours go by. I want to say at 3:30 in the morning, he comes out. I'm like, yo, there he is. I'm like, but I know but me and Bobby, remember, are friends with Chris. We know how he operates. We know the kind of person that he is. He has a gun on him. He's ready. You know what I mean?
So what? If you get the drop on him, so what?
So I says, let him get into his truck. When you get into the truck, Bobby had a 9mm Beretta. I had a 38 on me, a backup gun. I says, well, I'm gonna pull up right next to the truck. When I pull up, just unload the whole 16 into the car. So what we didn't know is that Bobby did not want to be a murderer. What we also didn't know is that Bobby was secretly going into the sanitation. So we didn't know this. We didn't have no idea that Bobby was planning on botching this hit. So when we go, and yes. So when we go, pull up.
No, I don't think so, rah-rah. I have all the other ones, though. PayPal, Cash App. What's the other one? Venmo. I don't have Chime. I want to be nobody that never was.
On the car, and I zoom up, boom, I run, like, go, shoot. He never fires. I end up pulling out the gun. I fire 6 shots into the car. I don't hit the target.
Of course you didn't hit the target, and they don't do anything to you, right? Because you're not in the mob. Because if you were in the mob and you missed the target, you know what would happen to you there, Gino.
The pit in his 17-year-old cousin.
So he shot a kid, a 17-year-old kid, huh?
Yeah, that was in the car. We didn't know was in the car.
All right, so that's number 2. That's the second person he ever shot, right? A 17-year-old kid.
Okay, this just became a fucking nightmare. Now, it's all over the neighborhood that bullets are being thrown everywhere. There was another shooting I did on Crossbay Boulevard where Ronnie ordered me to shoot into a car, and I almost killed 3 innocent people because of a misidentity. Now,
Misidentity.
this is just getting out of control. I almost shot of my friend's mother in a car. It was just getting out of control. Bullets were flying everywhere, and it had to stop.
Do they spell mother with an A at the end? Mother? Is that how? What is that? What the fuck? Mother? Mother?
So we end up not getting Chris Cagnara in the car, missing the target, getting his cousin. Now it's just getting way out of hand. Everyone knows what's going on. What ends up happening and why that got resolved is because we all went to jail. What ends up happening is, I think it was like meant for this. I mean, Chris ends up getting killed later on, but it was so crazy with us because when I caught a shooting case in front of a bar at like 2 weeks later after that happened, I was just completely out of my mind. And something had happened with my dad. I went there firing. I got locked up with a gun, bailed out. Ronnie gets remanded for an extortion case on a stockbroker firm. He's taking millions of dollars from a stockbroker firm. So everybody starts going to prison, and who gets locked up? Chris Cagnara for something else. So now everybody goes to jail. So it's like it was meant for us not to kill him. You know what I mean? Because we all went away. So when I'm telling this story now, I want to explain to the audience how I made a name for myself. I came up through the ranks. I was a pistol packer, armed robber. I don't have time to go into all my scores because
came up through the ranks. Never officially joined because you were ever in the mob. Ever.
I need 20 shows. So we were doing, jewelry store robberies, heists, you name it. So I made my name for myself from this point on to go into the Banano family. I go into prison. I serve a 3 to 6 year sentence. Ronnie's serving a 7-year sentence. Chris Cagnara's serving a 5-year sentence. Okay? I come home July 2010. I do my 4 years in prison. So much shit I went through in jail. I made a name for myself in prison, fighting, constantly sticking up for people.
Sticking up for people, huh? He was sticking up for people in jail.
So, I basically was born and raised in Brooklyn.
All right, let's get to part 2. That was the end of that one. Let's get to the rest.
Good name. I come home from prison. I'm not home 20 fucking days. I'm not home 20 days. I'm getting word from Ronnie while he's in prison. Deadbeat list. What's going on? My money. Okay, about my money. I'm like, all right, what's going on? I get a list, man, of about, 30 people that ain't paying him. It's because Ronnie Gialonzo, as you can look up, his net worth was worth $35 million. Ronnie had over $3 million in street loan shark money. He's one of the biggest earners for the Banano family. He lived in a $3.2 million mansion on the corner.
And that has nothing to do with you.
With a 7th grade education, but he had a mansion of $3.2 million. 7 cars outside. And he just didn't care. Anyway, so he's sending word from prison, and now he has me doing everything while I'm on probation. He's in the feds sending emails to his brother-in-law for me to make sure the kid, my code name's the kid, to take care of everything. I want to say I'm home, like I said, about 3 weeks.
The kid, huh?
He goes, Brian Fahey. He goes, he owes me $75,000. He goes, he's not paying. Go see him. I said, all right, he's in the car wash. I said, all right. I go in there with my buddy. Now, mind you, I'm not playing with guns yet because I just got out.
Oh, wait,
I have a
what?
razor on me. This is how bugged out.
I thought you didn't care, Eugene. I thought you just played with guns all the time. So now you get out of jail and you're not playing with guns? I'm confused. You really confusing, Eugene. Hold on one second. He said, I'm not playing with guns yet.
Got him. I'm like, I'm just gonna cut this dude if he's not gonna pay us. I'm with my friend Adam, and I go in there, and his face turns white as a loose leaf paper. He knows why I'm there. And he goes, Gene, he goes, just like this, I never forget it. He goes, don't come here. The feds are watching me. I know what he's doing. He knows I'm there to hurt him, and he's trying to make me believe that the cops are watching the place so I don't do nothing to him. I says, Brian, listen, you know how much you owe. I'm not gonna come here again. Make sure the money's paid. He goes, all right. I leave there. I tell him what he did. I said, this guy pulled a half a rap move. I says, he knows the cops ain't want. He just wanted to scare me with the law, so I don't do nothing to him. That's what it was. He didn't have the money. Anyway, long story short, he never pays the money. 3 months later, Ronnie goes, send him a message. I said, all right. I know what he means by send him a message. I know what he means, send him a message. Gene's back loading up. 38, it's the coldest day of the winter. I'll never forget this. It's freezing out. I got a fucking white Toyota car. We have no heat and it's a stolen car. I'm waiting on this guy for a half hour to close up his fucking car wash so I can shoot this guy. I'm sitting there, half hour, sitting outside, freezing my ass. So I keep going out the car to go inside of his building, going back in the car. Finally, I'm like, fuck this. You know what? I'm going in the car. He ain't coming. What happens when I go in the car? He pulls up. I'm like, pull up. I just start fucking shooting at him. I'm supposed to shoot him in the ass. No, I'm shooting at his back now. I was so mad. So, you know, like I said, these are just crazy stories, but this is, you know, on federal paperwork. I was charged with this, obviously. And I end up putting like 3 shots at him at his back. He dives into the fucking hallway of his house. It got him paid, though. I can tell you that much. The money was magically paid now because Gene's home now. Ronnie got his pit bull now. And now all the money's being paid because I'm going after everybody and chasing down all his fucking money. And that was an incident. He had me shoot another kid in 207 Park over money. I popped him in his stomach, in his car, in his Hummer. I popped him in his stomach and grazed his face in another one over $45,000. I was beating up multiple people for him in his stint while he was gone. And then I made this big reputation for myself and making good money at the time, you know? I was making about $10,000 a week with loans and sports. I thought I was on top of the world. I thought nobody was watching me. Found out they were just watching us. They were just watching us. And Ronnie was sending emails, the kid, through his fucking emails in the feds. And what ends up happening is that I want to say Ronnie comes home 2013. I'm with Ronnie G every day. Every day. By that time, when I came home 2010, 2013, I was Ronnie's main guy. Everybody knew that. I was his right-hand man. I did all his dirty work. I was next in line to become a member. Vinny and Saro loved me. Except what happens is that Vinny and Saro had a cousin named Gasper. Gasper was wearing a wire for 3 years. Nobody knew. He ended up putting Vinny on the Latanza heist murders, the robbery, and killing a guy named Paul Katz back from 1969. They buried him under Jimmy Burke's house. So he gets charged with all this stuff in 2014. It's all over the front page of the paper. It had more media attention than any mob case ever in the history. Beat out John Gotti trials, everything. And
which none of none of this has anything to do with him. None of it. All the stuff he's talking about has nothing to do with him. So I don't know why he brings it up. Like, it's just weird.
It was the biggest upset in the Eastern District history of a courthouse. All right? Mind you, at the time, now me and Ronnie's a captain now. He's controlling everything. Vinny is on the case. He don't beat it yet, but this is just in the process. And now we're doing all loan shark and everything. And who's all the eyes on? Who's all the eyes on? Who's running the area? Us. Ronnie is the crew captain, making millions of dollars with a fucking house that looks like an estate, with all us running around doing loan sharking and gambling. And what? The feds is having a field day. They got everything. Bugs, taps, you can name it. They're all over us. They're investigating us for years. I ended up getting locked up in September for something else in Florida. I go in. All of a sudden, my lawyer comes to see me. He goes, you want to see your evidence? I said, yeah, sure. He goes, I got to roll it in. I says, what are you talking about? I got to roll it in. It's a fucking 10,000-page wiretap indictment. He goes, you're 2,200 of the pages. He goes, I can't even see it. It's all blacked out. He goes, you're royally screwed. He goes, this is a federal case. He goes, they're just holding me here. And then all of a sudden, Florida comes and locks me up. Boom, for something else. Conspiracy on something. Now I have Florida, state, federal. I'm sitting in prison. I got no way out. And I'm sitting there, and I'm hearing word that, Ronnie goes, listen, I'm waiting for everybody to get locked up. I'm going to get you a federal attorney. He never does. He goes, I'm waiting. They were nervous, I guess, because me and him were on good terms. And you know this is how it goes. You know, they'll play games with you, pretend like they're going to help you, but they're not going to. I sat in Rikers Island in the worst houses for 19 months. I was in maximum security houses. I ended up stabbing 2 people in there, cutting 1, fighting gang members constantly. They had me in maximum security homes. And then finally, 19 months in, I'm hearing what's going on. They got me in gangland all the time, talking about, I'm facing all this time and all these charges. And it was, I want to say, December of, Vinny Asaro beats the trial in November of 2015. The agents come to see me December of 2015, a month after. And they said, you are indicted by the government. You were indicted as Florida, New York. You will never see the street again. We have you on, you know, all the stuff with da-da-da. We're not going to come again, because they kept on trying to see me, and I was saying, no, no, no. Finally, I went down there when they called me for this fake visit. And I just...
Let's hear how he cooperated now. Mr. Cooperator. Shit didn't even get, like, tough. And this guy just throws the towel in. Insane.
He said, give me the paper. I signed. I sat with them. Proffers, I didn't know what I was doing. This was all new to me. I was all bugged out. I couldn't believe I was even doing this. My little brother also was on my case. He was getting 7 years. I was trying to get him out of something. And a lot of shit was just coming down on me. I had no help, no nothing. And my mom was like, what are you gonna do? You gonna fucking die in jail? They don't even give you a lawyer. I just let me see what's going on. I sit with the prosecutors, Nicole Argentieri, who's like the Attorney General of the Eastern District now, Lindsey Gertis, Allison Cooley at the time. Those are the prosecutors from the Latanza trial. And this is, you know how this goes. This is, no, I don't. This is, you have to tell us everything you ever did in your life. I says, well, we're gonna need a lot of time. I says, you know, this is. They says, yeah. So I end up sitting with them. I proffered, and I opened up Pandora's box. You know what I mean? I basically gave them the ins and outs of a multi-million-dollar gambling loan shark operation. Ronnie was making about $300,000 a month. $300,000 a month.
And that had nothing to do with you. That wasn't your money. He tries to act like he had all this money and he was doing all this stuff. Not true. He went and collected a few dollars for Ronnie, which Ronnie's getting out of prison. What's Flappy Lips here going to do when Ronnie gets out of prison? He's in some fucking trouble. I'm telling you. I got the chime working, rah-rah. It's Bill 24. If anyone wants to donate through Chime, it's Bill 24. You can donate that way, or Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Super Sticker, Super Chat, Zelle, all that good stuff. We got a lot of great content.
It happened, I want to say they locked them up. 17 guys got locked up. There was already a case already indicted. They just needed me for the violence. Little John Gotti, who worked for me personally, Gotti's grandson was one of my guys. He was caught on things with something else, but then something with me as well. We blew up a car for Vinny Asaro for road rage. And then, you know, how it works, and a lot of people don't understand, is that when you cooperate and you get a deal, you're not promised anything. You cop out to your top charges, and all you do is get a chance. So you still have to, a guy like me who committed hundreds of violent crimes, and I'm like, they're gonna help me? I'm like, I look like a fucking horror show right now in front of a judge. I copped out to like my top charges. I gave them so much stuff, so much violence, and you cop out the guidelines. And then when the case is over, you go in front of a judge, and then the judge will determine what he wants to do with you. It's nothing they can do. They can't recommend nothing. It's up to the judge. It's in his hands. He can give you whatever he wants. My guideline range from like 20 to natural life.
So you guys see how easy it was for him to cooperate, right? Crazy. Easy as hell. He didn't have to think about it. He just did it. Here, make sure you guys subscribe to Sonny's Patreon. I'm dropping a link in the chat. Go check him out.
With the 5K letter, he give you 1 day. So I went in front of him. I had 63 months. He gave me time served. He let me walk out the door. He let me walk out the door. I did a total of 13 years in my life in prison, but he let me walk. I thought I was getting 10 years. I didn't think I was going to get time served. Judge blocked. He gave me time served. I was happy. And then what ends up happening is that...
What ends up happening is that they got so jealous of you, right? Right, Eugene? They got so jealous that you were being famous, right? Because you think you're famous. Like a lot of these other tarts who are out there that think they're famous. Fucking crazy.
You know, all this gangster stuff, everything that I did my whole life, all this, you know, we don't have enough time to talk about everything I did, but all these violent crimes and everything I did was for nothing. They betrayed me. They left me for dead. You know, I thought I was doing it for a cause. I was supposed to become a member. Ronnie kept...
You weren't a member. You were never going to become a member. Like, how come you don't get it through your head? You weren't a member of the mafia. They used your ass to do stupid shit, and you failed at everything you did.
Backdoor me on that. You know, I've seen a lot of treachery. All the money is just greedy. Screw me over. And when I came out, I didn't know what I was gonna do, because all I knew was the street. I get a phone call one day from Johnny A-Light.
Now he's famous. Now he's famous, guys. Now he's a famous actor. Nicky the Barber, what's up, bro? I'm doing great.
He's like, come on, man, I'm gonna put you on Vlad TV. I says, what? I said, what's that? He goes, you're gonna come on, you're gonna sit, you're gonna go talk. I said,
here, you're gonna go lie on Vlad TV.
With the Bonanno crime family. And to make a long
Yeah, shot 3 guys.
Buckshot, what's up, bro?
long story short, he essentially had a similar job as you as the enforcer of the Bonanno crime family.
Correct. When I left the neighborhood,
commit murder, attempted murder, shooting assault, home invasion, well, actually called Hobbs Act robbery, arson, loan sharking, and illegal gambling. You know, just a lot of violence, basically. That was my department.
Watch, how many guys did you shoot?
Okay, how many people did you shoot?
About 3.
3. You guys heard it, right? So now all of a sudden, he's the most dangerous guy in the mafia. Never killed a fly.
I went on there. I was fresh out of jail, but I didn't know what I was doing. I go and sit down. It's January 2020. And I sat there for like 10 minutes. And then after that, boom. They're like, yo, who is this kid? And all of a sudden, it just spiraled out of control. My Instagram went to like 60,000 followers. I'm like, what's going on right now? People are DMing me for autographs, and now my book is coming out. And then it just got crazy, and I couldn't believe what was going on. But why I'm telling you this is because the government didn't like it.
The government didn't like it. So they got mad, and they got jealous because he was getting famous. He's famous. He's a legend in his own mind.
And what has happened is that the Johnny and Gene show that we created, the podcast, I never really got to talk about this. It created everything for me, the opportunities that I have now, but it caused me to do like 2 years in violations. I mean, they kept...
Oh, you didn't have nothing to do with that, right? You threatening your ex's husband, that had nothing to do with it, right? Or you beating up this girl 150 times. None of this, right? That had nothing to do with it, right? None of it. You get arrested for dumb things too. Trying to hit a guy in the head in the bar with a glass, like stupid shit.
I did this to the door. I did this to the door. I did this to the door. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in. I pushed the door in.
In this Airbnb, right?
Yes, I pushed the door
And
in.
whose card is on file here?
Yours, 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 yours.
Yours, because he can't get a credit card.
violating me. They were so mad over the show. And we were having other cooperators come on it. I mean, we had guys come on, John Rubio, who wore a wire. He said he made more money with the government than the fucking mafia. They put him back in jail. And
because he wasn't in the mafia. John Rubio's a loser. He was not in the mafia. He's just a rat, just like you.
It was just getting...
So it's only right you guys all hang out together.
Getting crazy. We were in the paper constantly, and you know, my prosecutors are calling me going crazy. Go off the show, we still need you. I'm like, I'm making money, I'm doing the right thing. What's the big deal? I mean, people are doing it. Who cares? They care. They tried to put me in jail for my book. My book came out. My book became a bestseller. I sold it.
His book is not a bestseller. His book is not a bestseller. It's a bunch of lies. They did not put him in jail because of the podcast. Had nothing to do with the podcast. They put Rubio in jail because of the podcast. They put him in jail because he threatened his ex's husband.
Over 15,000 copies. It's called Born to Life. I wrote it with Lou Romano, and it just blew up. It did really good with numbers. And people were so intrigued by me because a lot of guys don't realize how organized crime, it's all old guys. If you hear them out right now. There was no modern day guy out there. I was the only modern day guy out there who was doing old school stuff. So like, why?
No, you weren't. There was a bunch of guys out there that were in the mafia. You were not in the mob. That's why it's crazy. You try to convince these people, and some of them are so dumb that they believe you. It's insane.
Wow, this kid is how old and he's doing all this crazy shit for the mafia? We didn't know I still existed, so people were really drawn to me in the way I act, the way I talk, and I started getting phone calls from like celebrities and actors and people and says, yo, you want to go into this stuff? And it started getting surreal, but the government pumped my brakes. And what they did was they kept violating me, so I couldn't really move on and do the things I wanted to do until I was off probation. And they wouldn't take me off probation. They kept restarting me and violating me. And the Johnny Eugene show got canceled because of them. They actually kicked me off, violated me. I want to say I did about 19 months of violations, and finally, I got off probation. Judge Block goes, I'm gonna give you 8 months, no more probation. Once I got off probation, that's it. Now I could do whatever I wanted. I had this huge opportunity now. I met a guy named Matt.
Now he gets off probation. Now he could do anything he wanted. He could hit people in the face with glasses in a bar. He can go break doors down. He can go play house with Areola. And the other rat, Sammy Gravano, the biggest rat out there. He can go gallivant like a Chippendale stripper. And he could go hang out with his buddies. He's living the life. Do you blame him? Come on. These guys are walking out to the sunset with their garbage bags. The only thing you're going to be doing, Lips, is this. Making big rocks, little rocks down in Florida. Hope you have a great time doing that. I'm sure you'll get tons of letters from celebrities.
His podcast is the Money, Loyalty, Legacy. He's a stunt double for Mark Wahlberg, Jason Statham, Eminem, Tommy from Ghost. He was in tons of TV shows, and he kept calling me. And he's like, Gene, I'm telling you, your book could be a TV show. I'm like, bro, come on.
Never gonna happen. I guarantee you, it's not gonna happen. This guy can't control anything. He has no self-control. He has no self-awareness. That's why he will never finish anything. I mean, I hope he does. I hope he stops with the bullshit and maybe makes a career out of things, but he's not gonna. He already showed his true colors out there.
I heard that. Come on, that's not gonna happen. He goes, man, I'm telling you, let me do it. 8 months later, 10 producers are now saying we're gonna make a TV pilot.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be the next Sopranos to a guy that wasn't in the mafia. Yeah, all right.
A $6 million budget.
$6 million budget, because you don't have any money. Oh wait, you own a car wash down there, don't you? No, you don't. You do not own a car wash down in Florida. Complete lies.
And we're gonna do a TV show about your life, which is it seems like not even real, because you come from.
It's not real.
Like 10 years ago, if you told me, Gene, you're gonna be a book writer and you're gonna be on YouTube, I'd say, bro, get the fuck away from me. What the hell are you talking about? I'm a gangster, running around with guns and fucking shooting. What are you talking? Get away from me. But how I transition from that to that, I think is amazing. I talk to kids. I try to keep people out of the street.
Talk to kids? When did anyone ever see this guy talk to kids? Don't let your kids talk to guys like this. Ever. Keep your kids away from people like this.
Totally turned around. Even though I had a lot of hiccups with the violations and the things.
And the things? What do you mean the things, Eugene? Hiccups? What are you talking about things?
To the door.
I did this to the door. I pushed the door in.
You're a dirty bitch.
You ruined it.
Amelia, let me go tell your neighbors what you're doing. Hold on. You want to play games? You want me to get my boxes and leave or no? Can I get my boxes and leave? Okay, let me go tell them.
I don't mind talking, Molly. Just leave.
All right.
You can talk to them.
Talk to them about what?
Get out of my hallway.
Talking about what? You're a dirty whore. That's what you are. Hey, look, tell everybody how you fucked 100 guys. Tell everybody that on YouTube. Tell everybody that. Tell everybody you fucked your neighbor. Matter of fact, let me go talk to Andrew. Matter of fact.
All right.
A couple hiccups on the way, right? And then you trying to slap that guy in the head with the bottle. Yeah, that was recent. Still got a court case pending there, huh? Yeah, a couple of hiccups. No big deal. You'll get over it.
I still believe it wasn't me being my old self. It was me being violated for stupid stuff. Shows and things. And the judge is like, I'm not giving him 5 years for going on a podcast. It's just not.
Don't worry. The new crimes you're committing, you're going to get thrown in prison for that. And your little rat, your rat strategy isn't going to work on that one.
Not happening. I'll give him 90 days, 6 months. I'm not going to hurt this kid. He's not doing his old things anymore. So, like I said, I want to explain, the Johnny and Gene show created everything for me and these interviews, but it also caused me to do another 2 years in jail.
No, you caused you to do another 2 years in jail. That's the problem with this guy. He cannot take accountability for anything he's done. Nothing. He can't take accountability. And that's why he will not succeed in anything. I do wish the best for everyone, but people like him, just no hope. Now, check out this couple clips about the next interviews that are going to be dropped.
I just start making a lot of friends, from the family of the Rastelli, going out with them and going to John Gotti's club, Peter Gotti, and that's the Grand Avenue. They had card games, blackjack games. And I was a bit, like a high roller gambler, 20 years old. There was enough. So I'm an immigrant. I came here when I was 12 years old, and I didn't know nothing about America, but I knew a lot about Sicily. The people, the tradition, the roots, the mafia. I don't know if you ever heard of Torito Giuliano. You ever heard of Torito? The bandit, the Sicilian bandit? They made the movie, The Sicilian. I was not far away from them. So as I'm working around one Friday, I came home and told my wife, we're going out to eat, Cross Bay, and we're ready. She was pregnant, my first baby coming. These guys came in, from the back room, from the front room, shooting the gun in the air, because there was 80 people working. And to intimidate everybody, we had gotten shot. But one guy grabbed me, because sometimes I used to carry a piece, a 32 caliber. So they grabbed me.
That interview is going to be dropping soon. There's a lot of great content. There's more. Repo Rod, shout out to Repo. Let me tell you the next interviews that are dropping. We got Hatchet. Part 4 of Hatchet is dropping tonight. Part 2 of the Alaskan Avengers Sisters dropping tomorrow. And then we got Ronnie. He's dropping part 4 is tomorrow, Breaking the Cycle. And then September 1st, we got part 4 of the Bandito. And then September 2nd, we got Repo Rod. And then in between that, I'm going to be dropping the old lady, property of, let alone a fucking rat. He's a narcissistic, let alone a rat, 100%. He's an ongoing informant, 100% he is. You support Gene? Cool. Cool story, man. Here, you could join him. You could join him, Jay. Have a great day. Now that we put Jay in his place, jiggle the handle. What the fuck? We don't got Sonny here to jiggle the handle. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Sonny's Patreon. I dropped the link in the chat. Go check out my Patreon. There's a lot of great content. Full interviews up there. You don't have to watch the different parts of the interview. It's full. So go check it out. I got it. Thank you. Thank you, Ra. I appreciate it. Love you, Bill. Love your show. I can't watch this rap anymore. Dude needs on meds. Hey, I want to talk to you soon, Gina. I got a son I want to talk to you about. Shout out to Jay Costanza. Go check out his show. He has a bunch of content about Chicago. A lot of really good stuff. Grudge Truck. Thank you for joining me today. Lindsay. Lindsay's always a great supporter. No, you guys all have a great day. I appreciate all of you. And if you want to donate to the show, you can hit up my Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Super Stickers, Super Chats, Zelle. You could join the membership. We got a lot of great content on the way, and there's tons more interviews coming. So if you guys like this, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like the show, too bad. Start your own podcast. And remember, don't be a bitch.
And all new at 5, a major organized crime bust. 23 people under arrest now accused of stealing guns and cash.
Today, police revealed 4 organized crime groups are wreaking havoc.
From aggravated robbery to kidnapping, burglary, and more. Let's take a look at this. New pictures from court documents in this case. These are a few of the people who have been charged, and investigators say the money, tens of thousands of dollars, is all stolen.